Yes, good morning. Today we learn Protostomia and Deuterostomia. Division Protostomia, division Deuterostomia. How that names came? Protostomia, why it is called Protostomia, why it is called Deuterostomia. For that we need to have a small story, as earlier I said to you in germ layers. The same story I am saying now. Zygote divides into two cell. Zygote is the first day of our life. When sperm and ovum fertilize, they form the zygote. This zygote divides into two cell, further divides into four cells, then eight cells. Likewise, after this division, we get a stage called marula. We get a stage called marula. Marula, no need to remember the name. Marula develops into a stage called blastula. This is the blastula. Marula developed into blastula. And this particular blastula is then develops into gastrula, which is our hero to understand protostomia and deuterostomia. Here itself, I'll make you to remind once again. In the stage gastrula itself, outer layer we call ectoderm and inner layer we said endoderm. If these only two germ layers are going to form the whole organism, we call them as diploblastica, diploblastic animal. If there is another layer, the third germ layer, mesoderm is also formed, triploblastica, as I said to you already. Did you notice it there at this time? We got a cavity. Here it is. A tube like structure came, isn't it? Inside there is a tube like. See inside the green. This tube is going to form future gut. Now you may call it as archenteron. Primitive gut named as archenteron. In future, if this animal at this gastrula stage, when it develops after 9 months, it may develop into an organism. So well known, familiar is human being, that's why I drawn, but anyone it become triploblastic means phylum Platyhelminthes to chordata, isn't it? So when it becomes, this particular portion becomes gut, isn't it? So gut will have two openings. What are the two openings? Gut is having mouth and alimentary canal begins with mouth and ends with anus. Begins with mouth, ends with anus, isn't it? So now the question rises here. Here we have an opening. Here we have an opening. So only one opening. In future, two openings should come. Only one opening. So that opening, now I am going to name it as blastopore. The opening now I named as blastopore, and this blastopore I named it as blastopore. If this blastopore in future may develop into mouth, this blastopore in future may develop into mouth or it may develop into anus. Now let's take our protostomia. Proto, we learned the meaning in the previous class. Proto means first, stoma means mouth. Proto, first, stoma, mouth. So what is the fate of blastopore here? Fate means future. What is the future of the blastopore? If it is mouth, we say such organisms as protostomia. Next, here it is seen. Blastopore may develop into anus. So what is the first structure developed? Anus. Anus. You may call it as anus or anus. These organisms are called as deuterostomians. Means next mouth. So what is first? First is anus. So definition wise, if the fate of blastopore develops into mouth, we can say them as protostomia. If the fate of blastopore developed into anus, we may call it as Deuterostomia. Here it is, the definition, notes is given to you. You can download from the description the PDF, and individually the notes will be sent to you in WhatsApp also. Fate of blastopore, if it is mouth, we call protostomia. Fate of blastopore, if it is anus, we say deuterostomia. So let us see some applications here. If it is developed as mouth, what about the anus? Anus will be developed on opposite end, isn't it or not? So protostomia, let me complete the protostomia. First mouth, next anus. Deuterostomia, if this opening developed as anus, what is the opposite end? Mouth. Okay, so deuterostomia, first anus, then opposite end will be mouth. Okay, so that's it. Phylum protostomia, division protostomia. What are the examples for division protostomia? Division protostomia. Phylum Platyhelminthes to mollusca. What are the phylums in the division protostomia? Let me show you. From the chart itself I am taking all these. Division protostomia means this is the division protostomia. Division protostomia include Platyhelminthes, Nematoda, Annelida, Arthropoda, mollusca. Next, division Deuterostomia is having three phyla: Echinodermata, Hemichordata, Chordata. So, this class meant for protostomia, Deuterostomia. Simply, you have to remember as protostomia. Fate of blastopore is mouth, hence called protostomia. Proto means first, stoma means mouth. So, first mouth, opposite end will be anus. Deuterostomia, first anus, next mouth, and that means first anus, opposite end will be mouth. Not to confuse, remember only two words. Fate of blastopore if it is mouth, protostomia. Fate of blastopore if it is anus, deuterostomia. So this is the story of division protostomia, division deuterostomia. In the next class, we will see the cleavages also, spiral and radial cleavage, determinate and indeterminate cleavage, mosaic embryo, regulative embryo. Not much important for the need, just for namesake we are learning them also, but these are okay, how to remember all these things. Thank you.